What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back again with another Seeking Sister Wife video. This one is episode 7 of season 4. But of course, before we get into it, let's start off by giving a big massive shout out to every single person that is a member of the channel, every single person that is a member of Patreon, every single person that is a subscriber. And boy, this heat right now, so freaking humid. I'm about to melt. So for anyone that likes melted chocolate, okay, whatever. Nonetheless though, let's get into this one.
Will be Roberta, Garrick, and myself and our 2 boys, and then Lightning, our dog, and my parents, all under technically one roof.
I'm sorry, they're building a home that's going to have her parents, her and Garrick, Roberta, dogs, and babies in the future too. I thought I was watching Seeking Sister Wife, not Living with My Parents, or I Love a Mama's Boy, or what? Okay.
So you get to see out here into the forest?
We built this house where my parents have their own little apartment, I would call it. We want to be close to them as they age and be able to help them.
So this door locks and everything.
Yep.
So if they want privacy on their side.
Can we lock them out if we want privacy?
I don't know.
I'm honestly speechless, to be honest with you. I don't know how you can be asking for privacy when your parents are going to be literally there. I just couldn't do it. It's not a me thing. But hey, whatever works for you, works for you. I wonder how Roberta feels about this though. I wonder if she even knows about this.
Garrick's master, and then there's one more master upstairs. When Bert and I take turns with Garrick, that will be our room upstairs. So we'll kind of share, we'll have 2 beds. I think it's going to be an adjustment for me not being with Garrick every night, but I think I've always been really close with my girlfriends, so the whole sharing a room thing is actually kind of exciting to me. Yeah, right.
That is the biggest pack of BS I've ever heard in my life. We know that she's already not comfortable with Roberta anyway. And she's trying to say that it's going to be okay. Darling, do you think that the audience missed the previous seasons with you and Roberta? Do you think we've forgotten what happens in the trailer? And she's trying to tell us, the advert, that, okay, whatever makes you happy, dearie.
I think there's pros and cons to Roberta trying for a baby right away with Garrick. I think part of it might help distract her because she is going to be missing her mom and it'll give her something to really focus on. But then at the same time, I think it could be hard because we're all going to be adjusting to, life together under one roof. And
I don't know why having children is even a conversation right now. When the relationship between Roberta and Daniel isn't even healthy, children shouldn't even be in the picture. There's no point of bringing children into a picture, and into a house where things aren't even certified as balanced, as healthy, as comfortable, when everything is still up in the air. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Another wife being here, other babies, children running around.
I think it'll just be adjustment for him to find time for his children and for Roberta and Danielle. I think that might be a little struggle there, finding time for everyone.
Parents that speak sense. And that's the thing though, even they're noticing that it could be a struggle even with time. If they're going to have kids, and how's Jerry going to be able to make time to spend time with his kids, make time to spend with Roberta, and then also make time to spend with Danielle? These are big challenges here. To be fair, we've never necessarily come across I think when you're thinking about Seeking Sisters Wives, when you're thinking about Sister Wives, it's kind of a different situation because when we got introduced to them, they're already a family with a bunch of kids, so we missed out on how that kind of really worked. But at the same time, though, we was given description in terms of how they all lived in the same house. Christine was pretty much the main mother to a certain degree, and then obviously the other mothers obviously did their own fair share, X, Y, Z. It really depended on work and all that kind of stuff. So they had something in place. These guys don't have shiz in place, to be honest, because the relationship between Roberta and Daniel isn't healthy anyway. So that relationship obviously has to be healthy first, and at the same time, Jeb's gonna be able to figure out, is he gonna be able to have time to spend with his kids or kid, as well as spending time with Roberta, and as well as time to spend time with Danielle. And also Danielle was ready to come out to say that she's gonna play more of an aunt role when it comes to the children, not necessarily a parent role. So even with that itself being said, The balance is a myth. Wow, people that want to involve children when they don't even have shit together is just ridiculous.
Bina, seeing how things mesh between Bina and I, as well as the relationship between them and Bina, but I'm definitely still dating other people this early in our dating process. You gotta date around. So.
Oh, Jesus. Hold on a minute. So he was just having a date with one female, and he was talking about how he wanted to already sleep with her, but he still already dated other females who they may potentially be either adding or maybe a better fit to the relationship. So what happens when he says, "Oh, I want to sleep with that one too because I feel connection." If you felt connection with one that you wanted to potentially date, and then you already brought around the family, the kids, and now you're bringing in another one, but I think sometimes in life, it's better to be honest rather than to just play a whole facade. Just be honest and say, listen, man, you got a D and you like to use it a lot. You don't know how to be faithful, so you rather just live this lifestyle of just... You know when you're struggling to process BS. What is this? Ah, dear Lord. Okay.
So I have a date with Janae. Janae and I first met while Taryn and I were separated just a couple of months before India and I met. She just was this gorgeous girl who was so friendly and bubbly. She was a bartender.
So it's another female from the past. It's not like these are fresh women. These are women from the past. To me personally, that's a red flag. And very suspect. I'm sorry, but I'm really struggling to process what the is happening here. Ah, God.
Was so friendly and bubbly. She was a bartender. We exchanged numbers, and then she kind of disappeared because she moved to Atlanta. Janae and I kind of reconnected. I reached out to her, just like, hey, we should hang out. We should really revisit things. We got really...
They reconnected because who reached out to who? Oh, yes, he reached out to her. Oh, no, that's not suspect, is it now? Listen, I'm a guy. I know what it means when a guy reaches out to a female from the past. It's because he's still thinking about smashing. Whether he has smashed before or he hasn't smashed yet, he's reaching out because he's still thinking about hopefully smashing it again or finally smashing it for the first time. That is why a guy would generally reach out to another woman. Or if it's a situation of you was in a relationship in the past, sometimes guys will reach out, definitely to still smash, but at the same time, they've been unable to find anyone else in that time, and they just think, you know what, I don't want to be lonely, I just got to be with someone. Who can I possibly contact who's more than likely to take me back? Ooh, that's the one. Let me contact them. But of course, there wasn't a relationship in that situation, so if you ask me personally, man wants to smash. Simple as that. And and obviously he has a perfect excuse to do it. Hey, come and join our family. I do generally wonder though, is the actual real emotions from himself? Does he generally have an actual real true love for the two wives he has at this moment? Well, the wife and fiance. That is a question that needs to be asked. If I was one of the wives, if I was the wife and fiance, I would generally be asking, so do you actually love me? Or do you love what I allow you to do? It's the same thing with the fiance. So do you actually love me as well? Or do you just love what we allow you to do? Or are you just in love with just this concept, not actually us? Where is that emotional, personal connection? But don't get me wrong though, there are many men out there that can definitely fake the connection. And it is very easy to do that. If sex is always happening, it's very easy for a man to pretend he's in love with you, when really and truly he's in love with the coochie, if you know what I mean. Because trust when I tell you, there's bare man out here. I know a couple of guys who are in relationship with girls, not because they love them, but because the coochie is good. They're like, listen, I will go through all the stresses because the coochie is good. The head game is on point. So you know what? I'm down. And those same guys that I know are also out here sleeping with other women. And this is why I say to them, I ain't just be single because I want that guaranteed good coochie. You know what, bros? You do use. Anyway, let's continue.
Talk to Bina and we start to explore what it looks like adding someone to our family. Janae was one of the first people that came to mind. Janae also is someone who is very goal-oriented. She's very ambitious. She's a hard worker, and we all are very much so that as well. And so
this guy is good. He is good. Of course, you want to add it to the mix. Why wouldn't you? And then coming in with all the attributes of why she'd be a good mix and how they align with himself and with this current. This guy, yo, man, we want to learn a few little things about how to manipulate women and give them a dream. Observe this guy. Observe. This guy is good. It's a good thing that I'm a guy too, because I'm able to identify these things.
When I first hear about Janae, my initial thoughts was, I know that there's history here. It sounds like she's like the one that got away.
you know, I want to make sure you're comfortable. So,
Am I comfortable? No.
Let's stop it right there. Let's stop. If you know you're not comfortable, can somebody enlighten me and let me know? Well, then, why are you accepting this? You know, there's people in the world that voice things because they generally want to change. But then there's people in the world who voice things because they just want to feel like I voiced it and that's it. At least he knows. Even though they... Don't voice something if you're not going to put your foot on it. The fact is this, you just said it yourself. It's like she's the one that got away. Hello, light bulb. If a man wants to go and get the girl that got away, that means you've been a temporarily replacing for that time being. I don't know if you've all seen Power, but we all know when Angela came on the scene, Tasha became a nobody at that point. James St. Patrick, aka Ghost, was only looking for the original one that he really wanted, the one that got away. And we all know how that ended in the end, don't we now? Just because you're in a poly relationship, it doesn't mean that you should be accepting the same goddamn behavior. Well, allegedly poly relationship. If you ask me, I don't know what this is. This is all facade. Seeking sister wife, my bumper cloud us. But let's continue, man. Jesus. I hate people that act tough on camera, make it look like they've got a brain cell on camera, but really and truly off camera, they ain't got a freaking brain cell because they still allow the behavior to happen anyway. I'm still waiting for some drama with this family though. You know what though? I'm actually disappointed that they keep everything so freaking calm and collected with this, because this ain't reality, man. I want to see people going for each other's heads. And I don't mean physically. I mean like really calling people out. I want her to sit there and call them out and say, nah, this ain't the way, blah, 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 blah. Make it realistic, man. This is all like this is how the more and more I watch the show, especially this couple specifically, because there's so many freaking red flags, I sit there and I say to myself, this mouth will be hella scripted, because if it wasn't, and I'm saying that from a pigmentation basis, you know what I'm saying? Stereotype, what can I say? I'm allowed to, because it's my kind, right? I will stereotype anybody, bro. I will stereotype anybody. There ain't no rules. Anyway, let's continue.
No. I definitely want you to like go fill it out, but to know that it's like there's this history and you felt like there was just this connection, and I don't know what would have happened if you didn't come along and I don't know, be somewhere, you know. In Atlanta.
when you say it like that in your cat daddy voice, I get it.
You know, it's like, you know.
It's like, you know what? Why holding back for, girl? Let him know. Stop holding back. She goes in and then rolls it back in again. Big time. Let's move on to the next couple, man. This is getting my nerves now.
Well, this won't go on.
So
But I still was going there having drinks.
right now in 90.
I mean, I don't know if Janae can be right here, and we'll find out tomorrow night when I take her out. But I don't think that Janae knows that I'm in this dynamic right now. I don't think she knows that.
She doesn't know what? That whole situation there, right there, has proved exactly my point. Everything that I'm saying about this guy. These women are sitting again. Anyway. You know what? This is episode 7, you know. And shiz hasn't gone down yet with this couple. And some of them too. This is episode... Where's the fireworks at? I'm expecting it. Because man is chatting cat to you right now. And you're accepting it. Okay. Okay, let's just play good for the camera.
That separation, but we never had a conversation that turned out I got back together. And so, let alone that a couple months after that, I started dating India, and now we all live together. I didn't tell her originally because I just didn't think she would come, and I felt like because of our vibe and the great connection we have together, that if I could explain my case to her face to face, that she might be more inclined to continue.
Need I say any more? This guy, he's good, but he ain't that good. What kind of nonsense? What? I didn't want to tell her because of what? I wanna know about when these two wives are looking to divorce him. That's what I want to know. When they're looking to walk away, that's what I want to know. That's the man can talk the talk, but the talk ain't even that great at this point. It's actually getting worse. It was good to begin with. Now it's just becoming tragic, to be honest with you. And it's becoming even more tragic because they're both sitting there just like, okay, sir. Okay, master. Sorry, daddy. We're not gonna challenge you. Let's just behave for the camera, right?
We talked about before, I wanted to bring up the sex thing too. I want these things to happen organically. If I was on a date, first time you and I got
y'all
to
talked one night or no? We did, but again, you weren't in the picture, so he didn't have a curfew to come home to. He actually has a family that he has to come home to.
Correct.
Remember what I just said a second ago? The more he talks, the worse it gets. And now he's really bringing back the sex thing again. Obviously, And just so you know, before this little part of him doing the whole sex little thing, he was talking about how he's gonna make her a meal. He's gonna have roses on the bed, and then they're gonna talk all night. And of course, India was like, "Roses on the bed? You're gonna talk all night? I thought you had a curfew." And why is there gonna be roses on the bed as well? Which is now transpired to this part here, where he's talking about obviously if sex becomes a thing, then it becomes a thing. That was the same issue he had with the previous girl, where he mentioned about sex being a thing. Tell me right now that this ain't all just about sex for this guy. When I've been telling you and I just told you. I told you it gets worse the more he talks. At this point, he needs to just shut the hell up.
You have to not hold me to a monogamous man standard and hold me to standards of a polygamous man. The choices I'm making and who I'm dating, I'm clearly thinking about the family. And so you need to trust that. Now that we're in that situation, we're making a conscious decision to say we're adding somebody. At what point do I get the organic process?
Like I said, it keeps getting worse. Now he's becoming defensive to why he should be able to have that organicness. And also talking about being able to be treated as a poly man, not a monogamous man. Ah man, this guy is he's not acting as if he doesn't understand women. He knows how women work. He's just trying to take that control at any means necessary. Even if he starts to stand more dumb and dumber, because he knows that these two are going to allow it to happen anyway, especially the wife. Jesus.
Times for me. I think it is affecting our relationship because I think watching me fall in love with someone else isn't easy for her. Do you want me to find another wife or no?
Oh, I guess not, because any other night, there's no issue with you coming home.
I mean, listen, she's speaking facts. If there's never an issue any other night, then why is it an issue now? But this is the problem, though. She's always speaking facts, but then there's not actually behind it. The fact is this here. All I'm telling you right now is I want to hear India stand up and say, you know what? I'm out. This ain't for me. I thought I could do it, but I can't do it. No. Push my buttons way too much. One wife, I can handle having one wife with me, you know, and the three of us, but this whole situation now is giving me a bad vibe, and I just feel like all you want to do is get your willy willy wet. And to be honest with you, it's making me now feel like maybe my coochie ain't good enough for you. You got two coochies here, but you want to keep going around and having organic. Wow, man, they've given these guys a lot of airtime in this episode, though. I'm not gonna lie to you, that's crazy. I think because it wasn't here last week, but hey, boy, at least the airtime has been useful anyway.
Yes, we were very intimate.
Ariel and I did have intimacy last night.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. The way my man delivered that news was freaking creepy. Listen, I don't care, but I'm gonna keep calling out this creepy dude the whole season, man. Ariel and I did have an interview last night. Bro, like you're making it sound like you just lost your freaking virginity. Jesus, man, get a grip. Man up, bro. Just be like, yeah, man, we had sex, man. I said, like, I showed it away. You know what I mean? Not like that, but you know, just creepy. That's what I want to say. Yeah, personal opinion.
And I like him a lot. I like how nerdy he looks. It's very attractive to me. I like that he's really smart. I learn a lot from him. He's very sweet. I think that's amazing for a partner.
I'm not gonna lie to you though, man, but I you know what the crazy thing is? Like, I generally do feel like Ariel actually generally does like him though. I generally do feel like she generally does have an attraction towards him though. I haven't really, unless she's a great actor, I haven't picked up a vibe yet of anything else but that. Which is a good thing, of course, you know. And to be fair, there are women out there who do like the more nerdy type of guy, so yeah. But he's still a creep. And so is his wife. Yeah, I won't change that. Yeah. Anyway, let's continue. Although, I do wonder though, once Ariel is able to make it to the States, if she does, and they do actually make it a three relationship, I wonder if he's going to end up wanting to spend more time sexually with Ariel than his own wife, because he's already made it abundantly clear that she's a woman that is completely out of his league and he would never seen coming. So I really do wonder how that's going to play out if that is the scenario in the end. Will that then break up the relationship he has with his current wife? And he also, I believe, they got kids as well. Ooh, that would be interesting. Well, I mean, if that's the case, I really hope I get to see that on season 5. Because that would be an interesting one. Yeah. And I know his wife's got some dark, sadistic side to her. We just haven't seen yet. Anyway, let's continue.
And I said yes since we started dating. I know that it could lead to a lot of complications in the relationship because I haven't tried it before. But what's keeping me my faith in the relationship is my relationship with you, and that I have a good relationship with Tasha. I think as long as we respect each other's boundaries and
so obviously my guy over here is already talking about, you know, he really hopes that the relationship works because of course, you know, this is going to be her first poly relationship, and the poly relationship that they had with the previous girl was also her first as well, and of course it didn't work out. So of course here she's obviously explaining that, well, even though this is her first right now, she's happy with both Ariel and this waist man. Just kidding, you know what I mean? No, I'm not kidding. This waist man. Yeah, Mr. Creepy. Yeah, call me out. But like I said before, for me personally, I think that if she does make it stateside, the only reason why it couldn't work, in my opinion, is because he's going to be putting more energy into one rather than in the other. That's the way I see it turning out. Or the flip side is the one where there's always a possibility it doesn't work out. That's probably because maybe they'll end up getting divorced, so then he can marry her legally, and that is a plan that they've already spoke about anyway. And once that green card comes in, well, maybe that's when we'll see potential true colors that we haven't seen yet, or at least that at least I felt like we were seeing. But at this moment in time, in this episode, it seems like there's genuineness from her. But hey, some people are very good at playing that long game. Yeah. Women are probably better at it than men too. Yeah. Well, anyway, let's continue.
How I feel on, I'll tell you. Like, I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but I don't necessarily want the person that we meet to become part of our family, to live with us.
Whoa. Gary's dropping in some bombs, but this is what I'm talking about. Yeah. But at the same time, though, I don't like people that say things and no action behind it now. I'm expecting there's going to be actions behind this throughout the season, you know what I mean? But goddamn, girls dropping it like it's hard. Yeah. When she came in, she was like, yeah, so basically, even if you find a girl and we are happy with her, she ain't living with us. Which is very suspect, though, because I thought she would have wanted that girl to live with them, so therefore she can keep an eye out on that one. But I guess she doesn't want to keep an eye on that one. Interesting. But anyway, let's continue.
If she move in, one of us should move out. Like, I think 2 is the number that like can comfortably coexist in the same house.
Would you prefer to not live in the house? Is that what you're saying?
This is going south real quick. But guess what, though? Yeah, boy. I have no complaints. This is what I like to see. This is entertainment. I'm so evil, man. I am so evil, man. Nah, but let's be real, though. Like, these are the things that I want to see happening. Not because entertainment basis, because these are going to be real life, actual problems, challenges. I want to see how things really go down in poly relationships. Allegedly poly relationship in this one anyway. Because, you know, we got to see how they figure things out. We can't be having it, you know, happy rose all the time. You know what I mean? Because therefore you're giving us a facade of things that ain't legit. So this is good though, you know, because I want to see how they really end up, you know, solving this obstacle, shall I say it? But boy, man was like, so you're basically saying you want to move out, and he was like, nah, that's not what I'm. No. I'm staying. I'm just saying that the third honey, yeah.
I don't view my relationship with either one of them as being something that's just happening right now. It's not an option for something else to happen in my life that's going to change the fact that both of them are my wives and they're my forever people, right? And so when I hear that, it makes me feel that maybe you don't feel the same. And anytime I hear something like that, it's going to be a trigger for me.
Well. A trigger of emotion has definitely been triggered. That's what I want to see. I want to see emotion from this guy. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what happens when he gets triggered and how he's going to handle it with emotion. Now, this is content. And this is content where we can actually learn from, you know what I mean? And observe at how things go down. So far, everybody else, they've been giving us too many perfection storylines. The only other one that was the one with the dad, which we had to tell his kids. And the kids was like, nah, we ain't happy about that. That was unrealistic stuff. Showing us the challenges of what happens when you tell your kids there's going to be another one. Now this is another one here. Now that's what I want to see, man. Come on. I mean, always act like as if put a relationship are perfect at that. Nah, man, don't lie to us. Come on, this is what I'm talking about. We only had seeking sister wives. We only had sister wives at that moment in time, and now we got. But anyway, so let's continue. I'm repeating myself now, aren't I? Yeah, buddy.
That's the hard line that I'm putting in the sand.
Why did you have to say, and if they are?
Didn't have to say that, so I apologize. I'm simply saying that this is where it needs to. This is where we need to start it.
If the only option for an additional sister wife for them to move in, I guess the other option is we not have a sister wife. Not that we not have you. Do you understand how strongly I feel about that?
Yes.
The last.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay. He's letting her know that, listen, it's you. It's always gonna be you, and I ain't gonna pick another wife over you. But of course, come on now. Let's have a civil conversation. I see what he's trying to do now. He's trying to rein the situation. He's trying to control the scenario now. You know what I mean? He's trying to get her to simmer down the attitude, simmer down the madness of potentially wanting to live elsewhere. Okay, bring it back to reality and say, no, this is how it's going to be. Now, of course, this is a good thing to do, of course, because you don't want chaos to happen. But at the same time, it can somewhat also be a bad thing because it can also be seen as somewhat of like a tactic of manipulation to a certain degree that, hey, I hear you, but no matter how much I hear you, I'm going to reassure you, but my reassurance isn't really built on you getting your way. It's built on me still getting my way. His brother's smart. He's put a lot of the eggs in a long time ago. But at the same time, though, I do respect and understand what he's doing, though, because at the end of the day, there's no need for this animosity. You know, it's good to have someone who can actually rein things in and make the situation sensible. You know what I mean? So I respect that. You know, whether or not it's done in the right way or not, different conversation. But hey, either way, I respect it. Yeah.
Taking my last name. What would you think about potentially bringing someone else in, and then that individual would be married to each other? You'd be okay with that?
Before she even answers, Nicholas, look at him. Girl hasn't even confirmed her stay yet. He's already asking her, so you're going to be caving another one. The reason why he's doing it was he wants to make sure that whoever they bring into the family is going to be okay with him bringing another one at some point because he doesn't want that drama. Clearly, man stays drama free. And I can respect that, you know what I mean? But boy, damn, this guy's a freaking dog. A whole different level. Why is it the two black guys are the ones who are like just the most thirsty, man? Like why? Why are you TLC, man? Shame on you, man. Why can't you bring in a thirsty white guy? Why white guy that's running game like this? Both of these two like running game like with extra women. Man, Nicholas, he's advanced though. He's already talking about, hey, I know you're new to us, but I just want to let you know that there will be another wife at some point. Will you be okay with that though? She says no. He's gonna be like, well, the good thing is I already smashed you. So with that being said, see you later. On to the next one. That's how my man Nicholas is thinking. Dirty dog. Damn.
That I would be married to another woman other than being married to Nick, you know, there's going to be a little bit of, you know, being hesitant with that because I'm not sure who that would be. And, you know, it's kind of hard to imagine that, you know, there'd be someone else that I would be so, you know, in love with and, you know, so committed to that would be able to take that.
Listen, dearie, we'll keep it a buck with you. Just leave now. Escape whilst you can. You don't want to be a part of this anymore. Trust me when I tell you. Okay, but she's making very good points though. It's hard for her to answer that question because she's never had the experience of introducing of being introduced to a new wife. She's only had the experience of being introduced as the new wife. So bringing another one is something that she can't really answer until she actually goes through it. Because at the end of the day, it'd be easy for her to say, yeah, I'll be fine. But then when it comes to the situation, she'll be like, oh, no, this wasn't working. This isn't working for me. So at the end of the day, it is very important what she's saying that I can't really give you an actual definitive answer until I've actually been through it. Because I gotta know whether I'm gonna get along with that wife. I gotta know if the current wives are gonna get along with that wife as well. There's so many fundamentals that you have to think about. And you know what? For someone that's 22, she's already ahead of her time. So I respect that she's already thought that through. But clearly, he's probably looking for someone that's a bit more submissive. Someone that maybe isn't going to ask as many questions as she is. And someone that, you know, when it comes to it, they have to put up with because they already agree to it. And I noticed that when he was speaking to her, he kept trying to interrupt her as she was kind of going in her own chord before the cutscene. He told me that he was trying to, you know, control the narrative. So you know what, man? My respect to this young lady here has just gone up, man. Shout out to her for actually questioning certain things that need to be questioned.
Now we have a lot of other things to do, huh?
Communication hasn't been the greatest with Roberta lately.
but she definitely knows that we are getting ready to move into the house, and we totally built this house with her in mind.
And they're thinking about children. Case closed.
Give it a try.
With Roberta, our communication still is very limited. She's just not messaging and responding. It feels like so stressful with the visa and Bert getting here. I think my biggest worry right now is that she's kind of maybe dragging her feet a little bit because of her worries and her fears about coming and all.
Now, don't get me wrong, obviously Roberta right now is going through, you know, something obviously with her mother, because her mother obviously isn't well. So of course, you know, her availability may not be that great, but the fact is that if communication isn't something that is good at this moment in time, and you can feel the tension because the communication sucks, need I say any more? It just shows more and more how unhealthy this relationship is and how it's just not going to work. They should generally just bin her off and find someone else. And they did find someone else, but then Roberta's involvement pretty much swayed that person away, as well as, of course, having different ideas as well, of course. So I just feel like they need to keep looking and they should stop hanging on to Roberta, to be honest with you, because the fact is, it's not like Roberta and Danielle get along anyway.
Cheers. No, cheers.
At home, April and Jennifer are very accommodating, and you know, if however I'm feeling or if one of them is feeling however which way, they allow for that to take place. And so I'm hoping Danielle is going to be able to fit into that groove as well. So I'm interested to see how that goes this weekend.
If I could get paid each and every time Nicholas made a reference that was insinuating sex, be a rich man. And if I could get the same thing for Marcus? Yes. I watch too many TV shows, man. I cover way too much. I'm starting to get people's names at this point. It is what it is. It is Marcus, right? Either way. Yeah. The amount of time these two just mentioned the whole
Okay with that, man. Okay with that. Just like if at some point in the middle of the night you feel me slip out of bed, you know what I mean? You're not gonna freak out about that, right?
The way my mind is like, listen, if we obviously have a little bit of fun time, right? And then of course later on that night, if I sleep out of bed to go and have fun with someone else, you ain't gonna freak out, are you now? Jesus. I mean, at least he's airing it all out, you know what I mean? To make sure and to prepare her, to ask her, to find out, so she's in a shock instead, to avoid. He's very good at avoiding drama. That's what he's doing. He's very good at crowd control. That's exactly what he's doing here. So if he makes it abundantly clear about the possibility of things that could happen, he's letting her know, like, are you going to be okay with that? And regardless of her reaction, the matter of fact is, he's still going to do it and then be like, listen, I told you, I warned you, you know what I'm saying? And obviously your reaction has told us maybe you're not the one for us. Sly guy, man. It's a slick guy, to be honest. Not even sly, because he's making it abundantly clear. I respect them, I'm not gonna lie to you. Only because I'm the kind of person that makes everything abundantly clear. Just not in this kind of way. But yeah, I respect it, to be fair with you. Still creep, but yeah. No, sorry. Still a dirty dog, but yeah.
Have concerns, you know, with our relationship and the dynamic of it, making sure that I'm able to get that time spent one-on-one individually with Nick. So if he was going to go be intimate with April or Jennifer in the same night, it might make me jealous that I don't have just him to myself. You know, it's one of those things that I'm not necessarily used to.
You know, people that have a lot of questions generally aren't ready for whatever that situation is. So she's not ready to be in this type of lifestyle, and maybe never. I don't think that she's built for it, because again, she's got a lot of questions. And like I said before, people got a lot of questions, and the people that are always generally unsure, and they're like, So if I was her, I'd bounce. Save yourself the misery. Save yourself those overthinking time, because people that ask questions are the people who ask them so they don't have to actually overthink and they don't have to go with their own gut feeling. You know what I mean? They want someone else to tell them. Generally, people like this, usually people, their love language is predominantly probably words of affirmation as well, but they always need that verbal reassurance. And that's why they ask those questions. Oh boy. Yep, that's what I reckon her love languages. Yeah, your boy knows about love languages. Come on now, don't mess about. But let's continue.
So Jen and I decided to get out of the hot tub. We're just really hot, but also we both recognize that it's extremely important for Nick and Danielle to have that one-on-one time.
Isn't she so generous?
Have sex with Nick tonight, and you know, with that being said, April and Jennifer are here as well, which you would think, oh my gosh, why would these wives want their husband to be with another woman? But we need to be mature enough to put aside, you know, some things that would make others uncomfortable, because we're all in a relationship together. I just want to make sure Nick and I get to hang out and have that alone time as well.
Damn, man. This is like a whole chore, man. Yeah, listen, this guy's got too much. I couldn't go for the stresses, I'm gonna lie to you, man. One woman's one problem, two women is two problems, and so on. Michael said it best. 90-Day Fiance Michael, you know what I'm saying? He said 1 wife is 1 problem, 2 wives is 2 problems. I'll never forget that line. But hey, man, at the end of the day, it is true. I mean, damn. But yeah, at the end of the day, though, obviously, it is very crucial that, you know, she gets her one-on-one time with him. But boy, like I said before, there's more and more signs that's telling me that I don't believe that she's built for this. And I think if she is built for this, it's going to take a lot of manipulation on her own accord, because at the end of the day, she's going to have to convince herself, manipulate herself that this is going to be A-okay. But to be honest with you, once she does that, if there's then a potential of them adding in a 4th wife, I don't think Danielle's going to handle that very well. I think she's going to be okay with kind of settling with this situation, because she's gotten to know the current wives quite well, and they are very welcoming. They've done a great job. But I feel like if they were to bring in a 4th wife, she would probably give off the same vibe that Indy's been giving off this whole time when it comes to their relationship with Marcus and, you know what I'm saying? But we shall see. But nonetheless, though, until next week, catch you guys then. Like, subscribe, and peace.